for you. But first, to the Mangalore case, where an auto rickshaw blast has now been labelled a terror attack. Investigation has begun in the Mangalore case. This comes after a pressure cooker exploded on Saturday in a moving auto rickshaw, causing fire and heavy smoke. The driver and a passenger sustained burn injuries. The main suspect in this case is identified as Mohammad Sharik, who was travelling in the auto rickshaw, allegedly carrying a cooker with explosives. Sharik was also arrested in 2020 for pro-terror graffiti. He allegedly has links with ISIS. Sharik stole the identity, this is what police is saying, of another person who is a resident of Karnataka's Hubballi district. Karnataka police have traced the man whose identity was used by Sharik. Police has also called this an act of terror.
ಕಂಕನಾಡಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಹತ್ತಿರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಆಟೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಬ್ದದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹೊಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಬೆಂಕಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಯಾರು ಒಬ್ಬ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ. ಅದೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಬರ್ನ್ ಇಂಜುರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಆಟೋ ಚಾಲಕರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಬರ್ನ್ ಇಂಜುರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯರಿದ್ದಂಥವರು ಆ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಆರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರು ಈಗ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತೊಗೋತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅದು ಬರ್ನ್ ಇಂಜುರಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದು ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರನ್ನೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ವೈದ್ಯರ ತಂಡ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರನ್ನೂ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ.
ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡು ಲೋಗೋ ಮೇಲೆ
ಸರ್, ಹಿಂದೆ ಒಂದು 6 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದು 2 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಸರ್, ಅಷ್ಟು ನೆನಪಿದೆ ನನಗೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬಳಕೆ ಆಯ್ತು ನಿನ್ನ ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡು? ಹಿಂಗೆ
ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ನನಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಯಾವ ಥರ ಕಳೆದೋಯ್ತು ನಿನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಡು?
ಒಂದು ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಗಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಹುಬ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ,
ನನಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೇನು
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಂತ ಊರು?
ಹುಬ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ತುಮಕೂರು.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ತುಮಕೂರಲ್ಲಿ?
ತುಮಕೂರು ಹಿರೇಹಳ್ಳಿಲಿ ಗೇಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದೆ.
ಓಕೆ, ನಿನ್ನೆ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ?
ನಿನ್ನೆ PSI ಸರ್ಗಳು ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವ್ರು ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಹೇಳಿ ಎನ್ಕ್ವೈರಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ.
ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅವ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ?
ಎನ್ಕ್ವೈರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಮುಂದಿನ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಎನ್ಕ್ವೈರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ.
ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು? ಏನೇನಾಯ್ತು?
ಇವಾಗ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು.
ಓಕೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವರು? ಯಾವ
10 ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ ಪಿ ಸರ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀಟ್ ಆದೆ. ಸರ್ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರು, ಈಗ ಮೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್.
ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ನೀನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ?
ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಈಗ ಗೇಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಗೇಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಯಾವ ಗೇಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಇದು ಮೈದಾಳ ಗೇಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್.
ಮೈದಾಳ ಗೇಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ನಿಂಗೆ ಈ ಥರದ್ದು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಸ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ ಅವಾಗ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ನಿನ್ನೆ ದಿನ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಕ್ಷಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿನ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪೇಷಂಟನ್ನು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಸ್ಥಿತಿನಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಪೊಲೀಸರು ಇದರ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯನ್ನು ಭೇದಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಅನೇಕ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಳ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇದರ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆ ತುಂಬ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿದೆ. ಭಯೋತ್ಪಾದನಾ ಸಂಘಟನೆಗಳ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಇವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಸೂಚನೆಗಳು ಕಂಡುಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. ಈ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಭದ್ರತಾ ಪಡೆಯವರ ಜೊತೆಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾತುಕತೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿ ಜಂಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಚರಣೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಒಂದೆರಡು ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ವಿಚಾರ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅನಿಸ್ತದೆ.
My colleague Ritu has been tracking this case very closely. She's joining me on the broadcast. Ritu, why has it taken the police, a good 12 to 15 hours to label this a terror attack? Is it because the forensic evidence in this case point to explosives or a terror conspiracy?
Well, there's a lot of questions that have been raised in this whole incident. You see the kind of the explosive materials that the officials have retrieved on the ground from the incident spot. In fact, also somewhere also sees the connections with what happened in the Coimbatore as well. So there's other lot of suspicion that the police is trying to understand this whole. But yes, there's been a lot of questions that have been raised on the police as well, because you see this whole incident had earlier come into the light in the month of September, where the 2 suspected terrorists were being in fact arrested, and the questioning was on. The investigation procedure was also on. But the another crucial point over here is also that his close aide, Sharik's close aide, was being picked up from the Mangalore itself in the September month, and there in the police also had sufficient time to investigate and also question this particular person and try and understand background of this Sharik. But therein also there's a police lapses that has been observed now. But meanwhile, now the investigation, as said by the police, is underway. They are saying that they need some more time because of the passenger, in fact, who had boarded this auto rickshaw, who happens to be the Sharik now. That we have also seen it out in a way clearly therein. But now that he's also sustained with the 50% of the burn injuries, the police says it will take time for them because the doctors have told not to be that they can't speak to him at this point in time. So there's some more time that they needed. But yes, yesterday this incident that took place at around 5:15 p.m. and police had good enough 4 to 5 hours into their hands. And this incident, you see, that was being reported later point therein at around 7 o'clock. So they had good enough 4 hours into the hands. But why was police not been able to come out and speak about this whole incident? So there is a lot that questions, as you pointed out, being raised on the police now.
Right. Ritu, do hold on. Like you said, a lot of questions are being raised and those questions are coming in, especially from the political opposition. Let's listen in.
I don't know. They are giving a different color. First, government should come out. What is the fact of the blast? I don't know why they are linking to a terror blast. Why they are telling terror? There should be proper evidence. They should not keep that the entire area under threat in the name of terrorism. Anyway, I tweeted it. Let the government take action on who have been involved in it. We should be very cautious because since the police themselves has given a statement on that.
ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರೋಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಫೋಟ ಅದು ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಯಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಹೋಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. NIA ತಂಡ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನ ಹರಿಸೋದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಅಂತಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಸ್ಫೋಟಗಳಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ಆಗಿರೋಂಥ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಇಲಾಖೆಯವರು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಅಲರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದು ಯಾವ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಗಮನಿಸಿ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟವರು ಯಾರು ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ದುಷ್ಕರ್ಮಿಗಳು.
Ritu, you are at ground zero. You were telling us earlier that a lot of movement can be seen. The NIA officials unofficially have joined the probe as well. There is a likelihood this matter could go to them. We've also learned that Coimbatore and Mangalore police are in touch with each other. In terms of evidence gathering in the last 24 hours, what is it that the police has to showcase?
Well, see, the first point that the kind of materials, the elements that the police had identified at the spot also will play a major role in this whole investigation process. So that's the whole reason you see somewhere or the other way why the police is saying that this was might be a link to what happened in the Coimbatore as well, because of these elements that they have retrieved, the batteries, the circuit, in fact, and also the mat related material that was being used to place the circuit in between of this pressure cooker that was being carried by the Sharik in the auto, and therein the explosion taking place at the site in the Naguru, in the Mangalore. So this all somewhere also shows a clear evidence to the police. The materials in fact will play a crucial role because the FSL team has already collected these samples and are trying to investigate as well the kind of links it has. So that's one of the point, the crucial point that one has to note over here is because the materials that they have retrieved shows a clear solid evidence for the police as well to what took place in the Coimbatore, point number 1, and also the point number 2, the kind of the training or the terror training that these accused were going through, because the 2 suspected terrorists you see were been back then arrested in the month of the September. Now this Sharik was absconding for a long time now, but here the question raises on the police as well is because his movements were seen mostly in the Karnataka itself. Why was it difficult for the police to identify him? Because he was been seen being in a rented house in the Mysuru as well for quite a long time. 1.5 months is not a short span that we're talking about, and the kind of materials that the police had also retrieved from his rented house is also a question now, because you see the 2 mechanical engineers that who have been arrested back then in the September, the Maj and the Yasin were being suspected of preparing these the bomb related materials over there, the explosive materials as well. But here the Sharik was being seen as in the mastermind and who was been absconding for quite a long time now. And here you see this whole incident coming into a picture in a very different manner fortunately that there were no casualty that was reported, but one couldn't have imagined of how this would have turned out to be.
Exactly like it was in Coimbatore. Ritu, thank you so much. Like